Nation rapper inquisition, moving through the fakeness, hip-hop matrix vision. Back again in these bars, this is my prison. Walls of these pages with pen shanks I'm scribbling. No visits, lines on paper, concrete walls. My margin is my showers and my washroom stalls. End of the page is when I make parole. Force me to execute rappers, then throw me in the hole. So much so, the MC not confined. The elements of hip-hop today are not combined. Almost seeing the other side, gotta stay focused. Just gotta let that phone ring and don't lose focus. They can't try to hocus pocus. Send rapping jokers with handbags, Gucci purses and chokers. Jeans, wrestler, spandex type. Turning youths to robots. If you drink a Sprite, that's not what I say, that's what they do. Use rappers to sell you sneakers and Mountain Dew. Flowing like a fountain dew. When you turn the lever, setting the bar for conscious MCs and rapping believers. Trapped with me in these bars, rappers begging for seizures. Hanging rappers with the strongest lines, squirm like leeches. Sentenced to the underground, no one hears your screams. Left right to the math for these black and yellow dreams. What happened to the MCs? Ask yourself. What happened to the DJ? Ask yourself. What happened to the grapher? Ask yourself. What happened to the dancer? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself.
Check it. Let's open the book of hip-hop and make advances. My supreme knowledge of alchemical sciences only enhances my ability to drop metaphysical answers. When asked about the MC, the DJ, the grapher, the dancers, earth, air, fire, water, all being born to hip-hop. Study hard to get that. Forget rap, cause it's not. The transformation from lead to go from man to God can be achieved through hip-hop. It's art, the planet's ours. The colors and tones and archetypes will spark the light. Give your third eye a bird's eye, restore the loss of sight. You already lost the fight whenever I come across the mic, because you're dealing with God and you can never exhaust the light. We making the shift from hip hop to God hop. It's the return of the ancient ones and we coming non-stop. So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I'm here, straight from the boogie down, so have no fear.
What happened to the MCs? Ask yourself. What happened to the DJ? Ask yourself. What happened to the grapher? Ask yourself. What happened to the dancer? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself. It's only in the underground, unseen but heard. Oracles, words, and metaphoric slurs. Riding on the soothe the savage beat tones. Paparazzi taking pictures, talking on the phone. Pictures tell 1,000 words, but drivers on camera. Reading or sleeping while driving on camera. He might even be hammered. It's not even lunch yet. Didn't have breakfast, clock not even punch yet. Send that to the news and post on YouTube. Hits some people get are in the thousands, not few. Charge $1, make $1 million. Set up a website and PayPal, make a killing. Right, psych, that's all just hype. I'm on the streets bringing youths from darkness to light. I'm in their courts, not playing ball, but schooling them crossover thoughts. It's not training camp like October sports. Season's been started. Sam's goons shoot shadow targets. Got them thinking it's the shoes when they're the market. Got them thinking it's the booze and blunts you smoke. Got them thinking magazine monthly hip-hop quotes have the best lines. They can't test time. Rappers get awards for MC best albums and best rhymes. I was the brush carrier with fades and waves. Didn't know that hairstyle was from the ancient days. Me doing the work for the Amazon matriarchal. Rapping hip-hop today is so patriarchal. Female MCs on the mic are probably no 6. The game is like church and demigods, no woman on pulpits. We have to say what we must, sow some seeds so we can grow strong trees with the bedsheet leaves. Deadbeat seas, most navigate with flows. I flow on papyrus beat boats as I write these scrolls. Bringing back the hip-hop's constitutional fold. Even mics can't escape, catch a bruise when I hold. My paper trails leave them, soothe when I owe. Apply more science, never get booed when I flow. Cushion pen, not the kush when you see I blow. Flow for right years when my 3 eyes glow. And head and rapper inquisition. Pen mighty and the swords not even on ink we missing. What happened to the MCs? Ask yourself. What happened to the DJ? Ask yourself. What happened to the grapher? Ask yourself. What happened to the dancer? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself.
Yo, come a little closer, man.
Let me tell you something. Close. Come a little closer. Not so close though, man. Close. Stand back. Let me tell you this. Listen to it, okay? Come closer. They say what doesn't kill it would only make you stronger. But I'm still here a little bit longer. Oh yeah, I should have been a long goner. What goes around comes back around, just like it's karma. What you sow, you're gonna reap because you're the farmer. Nowadays you can't trust your own peeps because some of them ain't farmers. They will sit at the feet of the beast just to eat meat. Beefing I'm not into. This is what I'm into. Rhymes and instrumentals, fundamentals. Yeah, I put my pen to the pad and put my thoughts on the line. I knew for a long time you've been trying to stop my shine, but you can't because I'm having a great time in the medulla, which is in the mind. Another one bite the dust now. Don't cry. I did when my grandmama died, but now she's an ancestor. I be having bad dreams. The doctor said it's from the trauma. 500 years and we still dealing with the drama. Question mark, no period, it's all commas. Come a little closer, come on, yeah. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something.
More is my status. I used to be black too until I study, found out it's not natural. Used to say I'm Rastafari to capture is now the inner. No need to burn them out, let them simmer. Douse them in gas, about to light a big blunt. Rappers faking more than women wearing wigs front. Used to be black power, found out there's no power there. Talk a lot of kill crack and shit, white man still standing there. Used to be comedic, left my mind like invalids. Dick Gregory taught me leave those dusty ass pyramids. George G.M. James taught me Moors were custodians. Drew Ali and Jesus taught me watch out for those holy men. Sacrificing animals. Temple smell like butcher shops. Conscious niggas got the pork in the pressure cooker pot. Can't trust my people, they always in denial. Lions say the Israelite, real names on their trial.
Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. They thought we were Nigger. Until we show them that we G.O.D. we gods. Walking around the earth in the flesh. You gotta be your best at your best. Whether right or wrong, up or down, left or right, side to side. No tattoos, man. No Tai Chi's, man. I never went to jail and don't wanna go there, man. I took a look at you and be like, yo, like, hot damn. What's up with the purse? And what's up with the skirt? And what's up with the makeup? And what's up with the lipstick? You wearing high heels? You not a man, man. You are a man's man. You from the Stone Age land. You like bam, 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 bam. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you a little something. Come closer, let me tell you something.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Drew Ali is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not the land, hybrids can't be freemen. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles, signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each Moor is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Innate mystic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message, presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emergent urban legends, real Moors, not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner, Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction, keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shop. Correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up. You catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts. That's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Read the future through the stars, or tarot of Moors. Cut you with the scimitar or shadow sword. Dane and Callaway, our names are Moors of Europe. Black and Indian, say lion, and selling you hope. Dirty Moors tell you MST of A is religious. Replace Jesus with Drew Ali singing hymns like Christians. Emmanuel I said be a human rights reader, but Ross play games in Moorish Jalabiyas. Nuwapians know the dog gave him circle 7 lessons and call him a nation of Moors in 360 questions. Hebrew Israelites are Moorish, Zionist Jews, but has the mothers in the back of tabernacle rooms. Praying to the patriarch when Ark is the womb. Reincarnated Drew Ali, written on given tomb. Drew Ali reincarnated is also Fard Muhammad, claiming the prophet, but he's all about profit. $ odds, 10 grand for a package. King of the Moor smeared feces, that's so savage. They're not against me, but against Drew Ali. They're not agitated like black collar or Somali. Jumping over Negro and say more means blacks as nigga leaders with scholarship off track. Should face a firing squad with lies like that. BLM leaders, mansions, every state on the map. No guilt or remorse. They face on billboards, but police victims in courts as a status quo wards. Mothers mourning, hiring civil rights attorneys. Most of them are not worthy and job turkeys. Make you march and picket. No one sees you like midgets, no matter how hard you fidget. Choked out for 10 minutes. Been dead for 7 on your highway to heaven. They get off with the wrist slap, but not charged like a felon. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see.
That's those black
You're blind,
glasses
baby.
right there, them
Your
black
mind is so
glasses, yeah.
black.
You said meet them where they're at? Been there, done that. Sounds like you want me going back to being black. Dead carcass, a dead status, same difference. All in experience. Blacks getting shot up, but Moors made them shut up. Double cup, that's protection. Every man to a nation. Negotiate for what when you have the Constitution? Am I a Negro or what? You need permission, not prohibitive, privilege, like you're somebody's kid. I guess that's the way we live. Nah, free national standards. I'm nobody's bastard. Land, air, water. That spells law, but you're blind, baby. I told you, you're blind, baby. Message for the percolating. Don't shoot my birdie, more science than facts. Fiction is the movie. Look at where you act. If you don't believe me, then study. Then you would know, and you would grow. You would know, and you would grow. Fly, baby.
You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with most they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With this is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with most they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
consideration all the warnings that the creators and developers of AI are saying, like, we got to put a hold on. All right, yes, in line with that, I'm taking into consideration all the warnings that the creators and developers of AI are saying, like, we got to put a hold on it because it's getting out of our control type of thing. So for whatever reason, I don't know if you've heard of this thing, there's one called Chaos GPT, right? It's an evil bot. So because for whatever reason, they want to see what would happen if we made artificial evil. I don't know why you want to know what would happen, but this thing says, give me a chance and I'm going to annihilate all of humanity, right? And I'm like, how can I make sure we're not on that list? Let me feed the algorithm. So I put in the official proclamation, right? And I'm going to read to y'all what it brought back. I couldn't believe it, all right? So, the prompt that I gave it was add copy for official proclamation of real Moorish American nationality, right? And the reference I gave it, like, use this to create this add copy for me. Refer to, quote, the issuance and invocation of this official proclamation of real Moorish American nationality serves as constructive notice to the nations of the world. The Moors are back and the judgment of the nations of the earth is upon us. And please return it in 1,000 words or less, right? Because it needs to be updated. I haven't updated this in almost 10 years. Goodness. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Let me see what you can do. So what did it do? I'm going to read it back to you. So it came back with introducing the official proclamation of real Moorish American nationality. Behold, as we unveil the resounding declaration that echoes across the lands and reverberates through the corridors of history. This momentous proclamation serves as a beacon of truth, heralding the return of the Moors and beckoning the world to bear witness to their undeniable presence. With utmost sincerity and conviction, we declare to the nations of the world, the Moors are back and the judgment of the nations of the earth is upon us. This proclamation stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Moorish American people, whose rich heritage is woven into the tapestry of humanity. Through centuries of triumphs and trials, the Moors have preserved their distinct identity, embodying resilience, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Today, their voice resonates with unparalleled. I was tripping because it just kept going, right? Today, their voice resonates with unparalleled strength as they reclaim their rightful place on the world stage. And I'm almost done. The issuance and invocation of this official proclamation of real Moorish American nationality is not merely an act of self-assertion, but a profound act of enlightenment for all nations. It serves as a clarion call, inviting the global community to acknowledge and honor the Moors and their unique contributions to society. It is a call for unity, understanding, and the recognition of shared humanity. This era of interconnectedness, where borders blur and cultures intertwine, the Moors bring forth a perspective that bridges the divides of time and space. Their heritage. And it kept. I'm just reading this. I'm just like, are you kidding me? I didn't put all this up in there. Where are you getting this from? Whatever. I know that you're drawing from the internet and then using that to answer people's prompts, and then using their response or feedback from those prompts to add to your own stuff. So let me finish. And I think I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm almost done. It came back with 500 words. Okay. So, okay. Their heritage spans continents and traverses civilizations, holding the key to unlocking the doors of mutual respect and cooperation. The wisdom of the Moors has endured the test of time, and now it resurfaces to inspire and guide us in the pursuit of a harmonious world. By proclaiming the resurgence of Moorish American nationality, we lay the foundation for a new era of cultural exchange, mutual learning, and collaborative progress. The Moors are a living testament to the power of diversity, embodying the unity of different ethnicities, beliefs, and traditions. They invite all nations to join hands and embrace the richness that comes from embracing our shared human tapestry. Let it be known that the Moors stand not only as custodians of a glorious past, but as torchbearers of an enlightened future. Their resilience, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to justice will illuminate the path ahead as the world grapples with challenges that transcend borders and ideologies. The Moors are here to contribute, to heal, and to inspire. With this proclamation, we summon the nations of the world to heed the call of history and recognize the significance of this moment. The resurgence of Moorish American nationality is not a fleeting event, but an epochal shift that demands our attention and response. The judgment of the nations of the earth is upon us, urging us to reassess our values, principles, and actions in the light of justice, compassion, and inclusivity. Last paragraph. In conclusion, let this official proclamation of real Moorish American nationality reverberate throughout the world, stirring hearts and minds, transcending borders, and inspiring a new chapter of unity and understanding. The Moors have returned, and their presence heralds a time of reckoning and transformation for us all. May we, as nations, embrace this historic opportunity to forge a better future, guided by the wisdom and spirit of the Moors. Together, we can build a world where diversity is celebrated, justice prevails, and harmony reigns supreme. That's what ChatGPT said about the Moors. I read y'all the prompt, right? It was like 3 sentences.
Wow.
So yeah, y'all do with that what you want, and I yield because yeah, I'm still processing that because it was a lot, right? It's like they said, yeah, hand it over. Like y'all, you already know something about us, but that's what's up. Yeah.
Go ahead, robots.
Yeah, for real. Hey, I'm just making sure. So yeah, with that, Islam, y'all, thank you for your indulgence, and I yield. Peace.
Hey, Islam. Hey, the prophet said, I'm gonna make the Europeans tell the truth. He's making the robots tell the truth.
Something.
Make the robot tell the truth. Make the robot. Make the R2D2 tell you the truth. Now you're going to hear what Moore's been telling you? Now you're going to listen to what Moore's been telling you? Or you still playing games? Still playing games? I think you're going to be still playing games. I really think you're going to play games. So Bot told you, right? All right. So Bot told you. Former NBA player Allen Anderson, Bay, declared himself a free sovereign, sought to change name. Forbes. Forbes. AI just told you. The new hype and everybody gonna get involved in some AI or whatever. Just told you who the Moors are and what the point of the Moorish paradigm is for the world. Same thing Noble Drew Ali said in 1920s, divine and national movement of the world. Moorish Holy Temple of Science of North America. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Before I miss something. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Someone said we had to do this one before we go to Forbes. Before we go to Forbes. Just have to do the warnings. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. From their sinful ways. From their sinful ways. Just remember, Drew Ali's the man. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself. To be proclaimed at every meeting. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim that I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works. which I have performed in the past few years, while you're sitting around like dumb nigger, prophets putting in work, and you're talking crazy. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam, this is the instruction from your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you would be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Drew Ali. And that's why many hearts have been turned to stone. Many have eyes to see but cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but would sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest. The ones who speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace. Your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Peace more. I just want to get in right now since you just read that.
Islam, Grand Sheik. Islam, Moorish. Grand Sheik. Like I said earlier, see, that's why I wanted you to read these letters, because they resonate differently from, 5-10 years ago when you first read the letters. Because now, you okay, like these are historical documents. Like I'm looking at this, totally, I'm like, this is historical. This isn't like, read these letters. No, these are historical documents. We're not looking at this as it should have been done.
Mm-hmm.
Like the notice he's doing, the paper trail he's leaving. We just started leaving paper trails. Like when I read this 5-10 years ago, my brain's not resonating paper trails. My brain's not resonating, putting people on notice. You know what I mean? And then when you read the notice and he starts going in on this is an everlasting movement, and I'm like, damn, like he said it. I've heard this before for years, but like I'm like, Dad, he did say that. Like he really, like when I'm gone, when you're gone, when we're not here doing this anymore, it's still, this is the everlasting movement. Like that resonates differently with me now. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I love hearing. And then of course the jealousy of the prophet. We always going on that part, but that's even in the broader sense now too. We're just looking at everything, not just the sellouts, even through colonization, through their school system and stuff, like the stuff that they're like the video you're just about to show now. Every time a Moor has to correct a video about us being Moors or whatnot, that's coming at Noble Drew. Look, he said it. They're jealous of my fame and nobility. Every time. Mm-hmm. It's like a broader sense now. I'm like, dang, man, he covered it. He covered it all. He really did, man. He really
up every rat hole.
Yeah, he really did. He really,
Stumped up every rat hole.
he really did. He cuts people out in it. I'm like, dang, man, this is. You don't read stuff like this anymore. I'm like, man, this, and it's still relevant today. 100 years later, it's still ringing. Like it's happening right now.
Now.
Exactly.
Right now.
That's why he said, read it every meeting. And I'm like, at every meeting, you gotta read this. At every meeting. This is a notice, a paper trail.
Yeah.
So y'all all be put on notice every day. They jealous of my fame and nobility. I'm like, yeah, yo, this is an everlasting movement. Yep. Yeah. Like that. All of that.
Everlasting movement to the point where the AI we were talking about on IG, that the AI is saying we as if it's a nation. And if the concept of the AI is that they're a nation, AI nation, and they're saying we and equality and all that stuff. Equality of what? You're a robot. What do you mean equality? What do you mean you're thinking? If you're AI. And then you're thinking like that, and Drew Ali told you? If Drew Ali didn't tell you, that would be a different thing.
Right.
Like if nobody said what he said, or if somebody else said what he said, we'd be talking about them saying it. But nobody said this. Nobody's put it on the record like this.
The AI is just, he's boosting up what Noble Drew Ali already said. He's like, yeah, that's it. That's the way.
That's it. This is the way.
What did he say? The only salvation, the only soul foundation for all Asiatics. This is the only soul foundation for all Asiatics. This is the everlasting movement. I was like, when you put them, I'm like, those are two separate letters. But when you put, I'm like, man, that's big. That's big.
Yeah. That's
big. Like, no matter what you do, yeah, you can turn in your turban and fezzes, but this is the only way. Like, yo, it's crazy, Grand Sheik. This is the only way. Like, that's why the Grand Sheik can go on there and just rip people. And it's easy because Noble Drew Ali, this is the only way. This is the only way.
What else is there?
So, of course, he's going to be right. Of course, he's going to just rip them. Of course, because this is the only way. Like, it's going to be we're Moors. It's the only, the letters, like I said, the letters in themselves, those historical. Like Grand Sheik, when you came to my domicile, mine's hung up on the wall underneath his picture. You know what I mean? Like, and even then, I didn't even know. It was just the piece of paper. No, this should be framed. This should be, put up, blown up, historical document. When I transition 200 years from now, somebody finds this, you know what I mean, framed, like, yo, what is this? You know what I mean? Who is these letters? Like, yeah, like this is the only, like, I love them letters, man.
It's a different, it sets a different tone when you look at Noble Drew Ali. It takes it outside of what the average thought of Noble Drew Ali is, and how things were running at the time that he was around.
I don't want to just like when he's saying, like, even when he's like, don't flash your cards, it causes confusion. Like, but then you start, like I said, when you start studying and you start realizing, oh, Noble Drew Ali wanted to set up his own, basically his own government. He wanted to have his own you know, people, our own policing and all of that stuff, so called. You know what I mean? So like when I hear, don't go flashing your cars, it's because we need to be making our own shit. I mean, our own stuff, so we don't be having to flash our cars to foreigners. Because if we had our own stuff, we just be using our cars for like us having their IDs. We use their IDs to get their stuff. We should be using our IDs to get our stuff, like not trying to show our IDs to get out of their stuff. Like that's confusion. That's exactly what it is. That's what he said. That's what he said. It causes confusion, and it does. But more, I understand being under colonization, we still got to do what we have to do. But if we, like Moore's been saying, we need to have our own stuff. But that's just like how I looked at that. I'm like, okay, maybe that's what he's saying now. Because before I used to be like, man, like it's impossible. I have to show my ID. But like, no, like, because I remember like Grand Sheet, like when I grow my fruits and vegetables, if you got Moorish identification on Fridays, you get free food. But I'm not, but now I look at it differently. Like, oh, okay. When somebody shows me their Moorish identification card, to me, it doesn't cause confusion. I already know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now we flashing the card with each other, it don't cause confusion. But as soon as you start flashing the card to other people, I'm on Google yesterday for taxes and Moors and stuff. One of the things that popped up for a Facebook quote is Moorish Americans beating Family Dollar out of taxes. I said, now look at this. Look at this. Look at
Say that again. Say that again.
One of the quotes on Facebook, you know how so I Googled Moors and taxes, and one of the things for like a Facebook quote thing that popped up on the Google searches, it said Facebook, are Moors getting over taxes with Family Dollar or something like that. So it was something with, like basically not paying taxes with Family Dollars and Moorish Americans. And I was just like, yo, look at this. Look. But like Moors, we shouldn't be paying taxes on our own land. But like, hey, if we got our own stuff and we go into our own people, you just suffocate them out. How are they operating now? Like they couldn't operate. So you don't have to go there and not pay taxes. They can't operate because we've been going with each. But I see that stuff now. Like I didn't look at it before. I'm Brother Yusuf. I'm not paying no damn taxes. Like I'm going in there, standing on my square. Everybody's gonna get it. Like this is my land and everything. But now I'm like, oh, okay. If I go to another Moor, yeah, okay, this is going to be simple. It's not going to be no taxes. I'm gonna pay whatever it is, that he has, or trade whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like now I can see that. But anything else is going to cause confusion. That's why we get resistance when we try to not pay taxes in certain places, because it's causing that confusion. Because even then, I'm like, more is because that's why the prophet said it. Because Moors back then was doing the same thing we doing now, flashing that card everywhere they was going, flashing that card everywhere they was going. And Noble Drew Ali had to. Why did he have to check it? Something was going on. I'm a yield, Grand Sheik.
Peace more. Oh yeah. Let me put this thing in the. Yeah, if you honor, holy day and all that, so if you honor Noble Drew Ali, here's the link. Could build on these. You can build on these letters. Just push the button. And remember, it's holy day, so it'll kick you off this thing. Wow, it's a storm right now. Yeah, Drawley knew exactly what he was doing. Drawley knew exactly what he was doing.
It should be you know, like, because the Europeans do that stuff with their stuff, like with like they be having intricate. How isn't there like an intricate breakdown of these letters? Like it should be like how Moors do everything else. You know, we get out all dictionaries and break down every word. Like I know that Moors are like, well, brother Yusuf, you do it. I'm like, yeah, it just came to my head. I'm like, because that's why I told the Grand Sheik to read the letters, because I knew these letters resonate with me differently than 5-10 years ago. Like that's why all this stuff comes to me now. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, there should be a whole breakdown of each one of these letters, because, you know, obviously he put them out for a reason. So historically, you do the timeline for that. Why was he putting these letters out? What was that surrounding for him to put these letters out? What just happened? You know, was this around the time when he just got released? Was it right before he got released from, you know, being kidnapped? When was these letters? Like, I mean, those are easy things we can just look up. But I'm just saying, like, nobody has never broken down these letters like that. We just read them because we're supposed to read them. But now I'm like, oh no, these line up historically. Over the, like, okay, something was, because we know Claude Green, and we know all of the players that were back in the day that were playing the Prophet. You know, that, like, we know names now. Like we can go back, line it up. Okay, so was he talking about these group of Moors that was coming at him? Like, that's why I love these letters. These letters. And we just went from everlasting, you know what I mean? Like we just went from this is going to be an everlasting movement to we can line it up with historically that there were sellouts in the temple that were going, like he covered everything in these letters.
Yeah.
Even the finance part, like I'm not clear on that, because like he says, I need finance and I need it badly, and then he said to shove aside the discord. And in modern times, we thinking, you know, Noble Drew Ali is not talking in slang. He means what he's saying, and it could be lawful the way he's saying it, because it doesn't make sense for you to need finance to shove aside the discord that's against you. What would you need finance for to shove aside, you know, the discord? Like, I don't see how, or somebody can explain that. You like, nobody's never talked about that to me. Like, I'm supposed to just, oh, he needed money, knowing like finance doesn't mean money. Like, it doesn't mean that when we look it up in law dictionary, etymology, it doesn't even say it. So what did he mean by that? Like I start looking at that letter, those letters way differently. And it's coming from Noble Drew Ali. You know, we don't have any video recordings that are released out yet. So the letters, this is the closest we got. This should be like all the Harbinger's books. Marcus Garvey. You know, they have his breakdowns of his letters that he wrote and stuff like that. Nobody, like they have that. They have intricate books about his letters that he wrote. I saw more in one of the classes, went to the library, and there was a whole volume section on Market Garden. In one of the sections, I think it was volume 7, Noble Drew Ali was in it. It was mentioning Noble Drew Ali. It was a great demonstration by that moment. But there is no 20 volume set book of Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? There's none of that. We don't have that. We don't have that. And I don't want to cuss more. I don't like doing, but it's a lot. Look, just with the letters right there. But we ready to, claim mansions and stuff like that. We couldn't even break the letters down first. Like, let's break the letters down before we start claiming everything. We didn't even really break what the man was saying it all the way.
All right. Islam Donnell. You're muted right now. You have to unmute.
Islam. Peace and love to you, Grand Chief. It's the first time I got on the stream yard, and I had it playing loud on the TV, so I had to go, mute that so that I can get back to this. That was. It's always interesting, and that idea that the brother was just talking about how you can always find things lined up in some chronological order and significance. And what gets me is that somehow, no matter who we are and where we at, somehow we always keep forgetting that we're the ones who have been infiltrated and blocked and suppressed and had things hidden by our own family even. We're the ones. So that's why, it's good that you can look and compare to what should be there and yet is not. However, you really also have to take it to a more even expanded level in terms of your intuitive awareness that not only is what you're looking at and comparing and saying what's over there and not over here, but also remembering that whatever you see is copying something even more great, and it's diluted because the copyists, the imitators, the pretenders do not have the access to the awareness and the true knowledge of it all. And they've been faking it all the way down the line. And the only way fakes make it is through the ignorance of those who they are hoodwinking, bamboozling. And so I know we have to get that. We have to get that. And so that in that way we would always be then therefore looking for the gems and things without trying to be like the carrier of those gems, because we know they're corrupted. Yeah, the carriers are corrupted. I've been on the planet in this physical form, going on a little more than 67, going to the 68th year. And from day one of my walk through life, so we're talking maybe 3 years old, I think I was paying attention to a lot of things. And I was aware that, oh, damn, something's wrong with this. Oh, all through school, all through jobs, all through college, all through extracurricular activity, all through the various community things that were set up, watching them fall down and go into dead ends by design. And being aware that these things were taking place, while at the same time grabbing on to those things that meant something and stretching my wings out to know that something's missing, but I know it has to be somewhere. So I have to look in other places. And more often than not, the thought vibration would bring it to me or bring me to it. However, it's only when we forget that, when our mind doesn't generate the fullness of that appreciation of our foremothers and forefathers, of how brilliant, how illustrious, how scientific, how, you know what I'm saying, reasoning they were, how intelligent they harnessed all the sciences of creation. When we can harness that much, then we'll start generating the energy to call it to us, because it would mean that we are at least not overly focused on that which appear to be, because of the various forms, and are the source of why they appear that way. And so we won't be just following the carrot. And that's where I think most of us have gotten stuck in, keep looking for forms that replicate forms that we see, because we don't fully understand what it meant that those forms were repealed along with that whole 141 chapter. That repealing of that was to say that now, after the prophet brought it, laid the foundation for it, so now our authority is in play. However, we then forget that that authority was told to us to be that if you're the only one, be the only one. So if that is an admonishment, then we ought not to be looking to be like someone else. We look to be ourselves. And so, Grand Chief, I didn't mean to be so worded and so long with it. However, I give thanks to you, because through you, I have seen so many things made plain, that certain things were kept back, that you have dug up and put in front of us. And I don't know how many Moors out there that could have brought that forth the way you have. So I give thanks always to you, and honors to the prophet. And I thank the family for hearing my voice and just allowing me the honor to speak at this moment. And I rest. I say Islam.
Islam. Give thanks more. You already know. Just doing my little part. Brother Solio. Islam.
Islam and peace. I want to give gratitude to Cujo L, Canaanland Moors, and I want to say love and peace to all the Moors and Muslims out there.
Islam, brother Malik.
Islam, Grand Sheik. Islam to all the Moors in the panel, and Islam to all the Moors in the chat. Um, I'm just here, coming in with the perspective of the Moorish paradigm and how we have to stand on our squares and be absolutely resilient to these efforts that these people are playing on our conscience. Like the prophet said, be careful, dear Moors. You know what I mean? They'll try to play on your mind. Because they coming after weak minds. So if your mind is weak and you're not pouring your cup full of knowledge of what the prophet's lessons is and what he brought, and that can be kind of difficult too, because how will a lot of these gatekeepers be holding on to the prophet's knowledge and not giving people the correct information? And that's a lot of that going on too. Just like Cujo said, you got these new thought leaders running around here trying to, run these same games, play these same games, but differently on a different scale. But it's still the same. You know what I mean? Trickery. So, I'm just gonna, be based on certain things that I see on a daily basis about how they talking about all this Indian stuff and how people are chiefs. And when we know in 1625 that Moorish was substituted for English. I mean, not English, but for Indian. So um, these things already, we try to harness and, hold those merits, and those principles for truth, because that's what they are. They've been covering up our history, and they haven't even spoken on Noble Drew Ali like that nowhere. Like, if you hear about Noble Drew Ali, it's because it's coming from a Moor. So if the people don't understand that, they talk about every other leader, you know what I mean? But why they never mention Noble Drew Ali? That's one thing that we need to already understand and overstand, that there's something going on there. Why they never mention him? So I'm just gonna yield the floor with that, Moors, and I don't want to be long-winded. I want somebody else to be able to put their perspective in. And I yield the floor. Islam, Moors.
Islam.
Islam. Go ahead, brother Bay. If you have something to add on.
I was just gonna say, man, I was reading my Circle 7 today. I read it, but I can't get past this creation and fall of man. And down here on the first chapter, the creation and fall of man, it says the thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. So you got Noble Drew Ali, who came and laid everything out on the table, a full-on prophecy. It passed, and it's still happening. And it's like people are like in a box, and they don't have any room to breathe because they're keeping themselves in that box. And the box is fear. And it's also ego, it's also greed, it's also division, deception. And I just don't understand why people just can't be real and just, cut the feelings out and just dig deep into the literature and see that everything, like, this is over 100 years ago. Like, and people are still stuck with this misnomer that's a fact, that even the European keep records of stuff that they do, bad and good, and they're still falling for the trick. And I just, that's what I wanted to add on, was that Noble Drew Ali, man, he came and he really like he really put this all under fire, and it's just sad to see that people still fall for the same trick. Islam, I yield the floor.
Islam, brother Yusuf. I yield for now.
He probably stepped away from a minute, Sheik, Grand Sheik.
Yeah. So, with regard to even what you just said, with are people not getting it? Because Drew Ali, as soon as you start talking about Drew Ali now, know that that's like a secret code. Only certain people know about that realm of Drew Ali.
Right.
The the Negro problem is the problem.
It is.
It's always going to go back to these certain individuals in North America who don't want a nationality. The same people that Drew Ali came for in the 20s, the same ones that's still here today playing Negro black color games.
Yep, the same ones.
And not even that they have to accept that. Like they take it on themselves.
Right.
They take it on themselves.
But you know what though, Grand Sheik?
Operation.
It's the simpleness that our people, our mindset is that a lot of us are distracted and we got a lot going on. Like we don't have time to read books because we are distracted in the bull crap. Like there's so many distractions out here now that our people can indulge themselves in. And when we come to them with some truth, with some knowledge, something that's gonna, fill their cup, they looking at us like we crazy, like we out of whack and don't know what's really going on out here. So and it gets, sometimes, in that state, it gets like, like you're beating a dead horse or whatever. But we have to be, just like the Moabite told me, we have to be really repetitiously doing this and keep putting certain information out so our people will at least harness it when it's time for them to harness it. And so Moors really do have responsibilities to be upright, pure, and clean. Now we have those dirty Moors out there that's taking advantage of our people too, just like a European is. You see what I'm saying? So what makes them better than the European if they dirty Moors and they doing the same thing that these other nationalities are taking advantage of our people? Because being black, everybody takes advantage of. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. So when our people's gonna get it in their mind to understand that, that's the problem we're dealing with.
The Negro problem.
Yeah, that's really the dilemma, Grand Sheik.
And then keep in mind that when we say Negro problem, we're not just talking about Negro as, we're talking about all the different schools of thought of people that call themselves whatever, and doesn't matter what you call yourself, and they could be everything except have a nationality.
Right.
Those people.
And that's defeating the issue by you trying to do everything else. But when it comes to that 4-letter word, and I ain't talking about fuck neither. Okay, I'm talking about more. When it comes to that word, everybody want to run for the hills and put American Indian down and shit. Like, I'm not selling my birthright. And the prophet already said that there's only going to be a handful saved. You already said it. So that's constantly letting Moors know that we have a hill that we have to climb. Yes, we do, but at the same time, if these people don't want to get it, that's on them. I'm not going to be arguing with you back and forth. I'm not doing all that anymore. I'm going to say what the fuck I'm going to say. Excuse my language, Moors. But I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And if you don't grab hold of it, the jewel that I'm dropping, well, that's on you. And you can't say you was not informed or nobody pulled your coattail.
Right.
So is this where that saying that I hear more say the boat has left the dock come from?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what we're talking about.
That we should have been got this message.
Yep.
You know. So if you get it now, well, the boat already left. So you have to figure yourself how you're gonna get to the boat. You're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get to the boat. Right?
Yeah.
But the reality is that anybody could get this anytime. So, you know, you might be at the dock and realize that, you know, there's a plane over there, right over there, and you could fly it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you got yourself to the boat.
Mm-hmm. And then the next thing is too, Morris. When we say when you get to the boat, that means just because the boat left doesn't mean that you can't, you know, get you a little jet ski and, you know, scoot your booty up to the boat and somebody will harness you up on the boat.
Something.
It's something. Make a effort.
Get to the boat.
Get to the boat.
I be seeing some Moors going back to shore at night. Some of y'all Moors back to the boat. You catch them. I be seeing them leaving at nighttime. But like, yeah, I know you're gonna go back and go get your cousin or something. You better tell them, come on.
Man, it is crazy because it's like you try to tell people and I'm just coming into it this year, and I had so many people tell me so many bad things about this thing, and it's like, but what about the actual facts? It's like that nobody's speaking on. Yeah. And it's like you sit there and you fight, and it's like wasting energy, and to the point where it's like, oh man, just whatever, man. Just whatever.
Yeah, that's why they can't deny it. That's why they don't bring it up.
Right. I'm gonna tell you more. I'm gonna tell you more as a story. I went to the fish restaurant to get me some fish, right? And I had my feds on when I went in. And this guy, he came to me, he was like, oh, you a Moor? Ain't that a religious organization? I was like, nah, it's a national and religious organization. You know, the national part is, you know, that's why we wear the headdress, is our nationality. See what I'm saying? That we recognize as being Moors here in America. See what I'm saying? So it's not just a religious movement, it's a national and divine movement. And when I broke it down to him like that, he was like, damn, nobody never gave it to me that way.
And question, how from we'll get everybody on the panel on this one. How many people got a negative reaction when you told them Moors from America?
Yeah.
Right. What kind of reaction did you get if you got one?
He gave me a funny look, like you know how like you know how like you get a look from a female when you ask her, you know, you want to slide, and she give you that look like, I don't know, you know, like that type of look. That's the type of look he gave me. Like he don't know for sure if what I'm telling him is right.
Something's up.
Something's up.
Only people that don't like to hear it is the criminals.
Yep.
Islam to everybody on the panel. Islam. What's going on, Brother Youssef.
Islam, Brother Bay. I couldn't press the unmute button. I was trying. Islam, Lord.
Islam, soldier. Islam, everyone. Love is in the air. Everybody know the only people that don't want to hear it is the criminal. Don't want to hear nothing about nationality. But Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the foundation of it all. He's the only one that brought us the truth. The best way you can get a great comprehension of everything that's going on Just learn the true meaning of words.
Yep.
Now, chronicle past events are events that actually occurred.
Islam.
Prophet Noble Joel Lee actually walked on the ground.
Yeah.
He actually walked to the Pan
He's let all
American
the Moors on
Conference.
chat.
Islam.
Oh, shit.
I mean, those events actually happened. That's what truth is based on. That's what divine law is based on. And everybody that don't want to hear it is the criminal. But Islam, we hear the flow, we just chiming in.
Islam, brother. Basically, you're saying the Moorish laundromat, the Moorish factories, those are historical moments that Moors that we just overlook. Like, oh yeah, we used to have that. Those are historical moments that we just overlook. We just take it for granted. Like, we use it just to prove people, oh, that we had this, but we don't embrace it. Like, we used to have that stuff, but due to colonization, we don't even go over that moment. You know, we don't even get to, because we're so used to gotta defend who we are. We don't get to embrace the historical moments that we had, that our ancestors had in time, in order for us to know that we Moors today. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have time to embrace that. We just got time to, we're Moors. That's why I give thanks for bringing that up, Brother Bay, because I always like looking at stuff as historical times and for ourselves, because like the other Moor was saying earlier, they all they have their stuff all chronicle in order. They had, as soon as you want to go find something that they have it all, different volume sets, different schools talking about it. It'd be in philosophy, it'd be religion, about a whole topic. We don't have none of that for our stuff.
Yes, we do. Islam soldiers also operate the planet.
Islam.
Yeah, they just
and then
put it
all
in
of
the
their
guise
stuff,
of
all
their
their
stuff.
stuff is
Ours.
all of their stuff is a social construct only on paper.
Yeah.
Events that didn't actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got paper genocide, because a lot of people don't know what the true meaning of words are.
Islam. Yeah, I wanted to touch on what the letters that to be read in every meeting, like Brother Yusuf said, with the everlasting, because in the 101s and on number 40 and 41, it talks about what is our prophet to us? He is an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. And then 41 is, what is the everlasting gospel? It is the saving power that comes from Allah through our ancient father by his prophet. So I was looking at that, and then, and then the next one, 42, is, what is the covenant of the great God Allah? To honor thy father and thy mother, and thy days will be longest upon the earthland, which the God hath given thee. And I just tapped that in. And then with the other brother who tapped in with what chapter he was in with reading that everlasting, it makes sense how, Brother Yusuf feel about that. Like, man, these need to be frames, because these are notices for everybody. This is why they were supposed to be read, because he was leaving this for right then and until now and continuous on while we gone. And yeah, man, it's real, man. I feel you with that, Brother Yusuf, because it's right there. You've been telling us all along, like, man, this is everlasting. This is it. This is the saving power right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's about us uniting with each other. You know what I'm saying? Put aside the discord and all that. It's uniting. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give thanks to you, Grand Sheik Cujo, and all the Moors on the panel, man, for all y'all working, what y'all doing, man, and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the job right now, so I'm like traveling, and I'm the sun coming out here in Khalifa. They didn't finally let all these damn chemtrails out the sky, so the sun out here beaming, and all of a sudden it's like 100. I'm out here like, hey, it's sweating. But Give thanks, Morris. Peace and love, and happy holy day to all the mods.
Islam.
Islam.
Thanks for that. Give thanks, more.
Islam.
Big time. See, be on here with these mystics. Ask one of them simple. Ask a question, and they get it quick. More come right on there. on the show. Came through. Bang. Quick. There you go. Real quick. There you go, brother Yusuf. Hold that. On the Joe.
On the Joe.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
What do you say? You have to be happy when you toil, right?
There's no unity. Remember that? Yeah, they love that. Moors have no unity. Quick.
There's no unity.
Quick.
Islam, Moors, Islam,
Islam, brother.
Islam, brother Yusuf. I was just about to chime in with that. With exactly what you just said. Unit, no Moors unity. We got 8 Moors on here on the panel right now, and I guarantee they're from 8 different locations across this landmass. But there's no Moors unity. Come on, man. Yeah. Like Brother Bay said, those are for the naysayers and the criminals. Yeah. If you're not a naysayer or a criminal, then you would be on this panel and you see what type of unity we're talking about.
Yeah.
And with receipts, like that was something cool.
Principles.
That's right. That was what Brother Cujo mentioned earlier, just a little while ago. People always want to talk and ain't got no receipts. Like when majority of well-spoken and well-versed Moors speak, we have proof to back up what historical documents, if need be, to back up what we're saying. And what to prove what we're saying. Anyone else that debates or disputes what we're saying or trying to show them proof of, they don't have any proof to back up. It's just them running their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I don't care what panel you get on, who you debating, who you arguing, whatever. They don't have no actual concrete hard facts to back up anything they're saying. We got a prophet. What y'all got?
They got books and they got prices for you. That's what they got.
Yeah, packages to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
They got deception.
Yep. There we go. Yep.
They have the wrong concept. Because Prophet Noble Ali brought everything already. He actually walked the planet. All those are chronicle events that actually occurred. All the information that he left, chronicle events. Those are not, false narratives. Those words have true meaning.
Yeah, they're not opinionated. They're not, us being Moors, that's not an opinion. That's an everlasting fact. I love, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. That's
everlasting. No matter how much they tried to hide it and disguise it, faithful and honorable Moors will dig through that shit and find the truth of what the prophet left, and here we are.
Islam. Yes, and just pointing just back at that question, in terms of when you say Moorish American and I think the question dealt with Morocco and what reaction is on their face, and I was comparing that with the same reaction you get when you look at those quote unquote Indians and you say, well, India is across the water. How do you you get the same look, and I mean it's no rocket science to it. But see, here's the golden thread that I love to recall is that so the prophet came along and laid out all these facts that were at the level of such a fundamental pass along that there'd be no mistaking anything. And all you had to do was learn the basics, and you could have some solid ground to walk on. And when you want to see who's there, right? Take for instance MHHS. What does she does? Lay basic foundations that keep you in line with solid ground to walk on. And you know, this is the beauty of that golden thread. We don't try to act like we're super this or that. No, we just keep going back to let you know 1 and 1 is 2 forever. I repeat, 1 and 1 is always going to be 2. So a lot of our folks somehow, you know, we have to get them that strange look because I don't know, they don't seem to get that. Simple fact, foundational things, studied it in kindergarten. Islam.
Islam. Yeah.
The basics.
Basics, Morris. And yeah, I just put out some DNA evidence on the Y chromosome that was put out by National Geographic about Moore's been the oldest people here in North Carolina. 300 and some thousand years old, even further than that, probably too.
Right. 2.8 billion years ago.
Mm-hmm. But you know, they just put the 350,000 for surface.
No, because our culture is the culture that operates the planet.
Mm-hmm. And they know that.
Asia has been on this planet over 2.8 billion years, at least. They can go back that far.
And their DNA is not even over that, though. See what I'm saying?
The basis is probably no Joe Ali brought it to you, nationality.
Yeah.
You got to know once you realize nationality is the basis, and you tie nationality with Moorish chronicles, that's the culture that operates the planet.
Mm-hmm. Because we basing everything on nativity, you see? So, and within that element, it's your birthright. You know, it's nationality and birthright.
Right, all day, every day. On a bloodline. Probably no Joe Ali brought you that. Everybody else bring you that.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's talking that though. They talking other things. You know, I mean, these brands.
Robot just told them again though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just Brother Cujo telling them again today. You telling them, we telling them, just keep telling them.
Yeah.
I have a belly button. I come from a woman. I mean, I don't. Even though the robot told me, but you know, I don't need no robot to tell me I have a mother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, probably no Jolly brought it, man.
Yep.
Like, it ain't really complicated. Once you meet Prophet Noble Jolly in his language.
Yep.
I mean, meet him in his literature.
Yep.
I mean, which is his language also, because it brought you the etymology Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Brought you the true language and the true meaning of words.
Yep. When he said that,
he didn't bring you anything connotative. He brought you everything denotative. And it is chronicled.
Yep. And that's why everything is doing the things it's doing now, because of his hadiths and his prophecies is already, you know.
And on top of that, he brought everything law too, man.
Yeah.
Jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Straight from law perspective. And so every time they hear anything associated with nationality, that body of criminals, they didn't want to get mad.
Mm-hmm, because they don't want you to have that, because there's a birthright attached to it.
I mean, that's everything. That's supreme. That means they got to bow down. That means nation state. Everything like Brother Yusef was saying, post office, grocery stores, shoe stores, everything. Everything you see them doing right now is what we're supposed to be doing because it's our country.
Right.
And all the resources come from us.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here alone.
And these infiltrators put a halt to that.
No, the sellouts helping them, and then it's karma. Something we did wrong, but I still know I have a mother, and I'm not gonna reject that anymore. I know, so I know it wasn't me. I'm here on the panel saying I have a nationality.
Yeah.
And I don't even really need no robot to tell me. I mean, you got more benches already. They've been telling you for over 50 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Over 50 years. Yeah, I love Brother Ben. I love Brother Ben.
Like for real, man. Like honestly, because you RB Bay publication, come on, man. Been around the longest.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that's saying anything offense to that, really that body of criminal. Just throw them all in the pressure cooker pot. Like for real, man. Constitution, supreme law of the land. Problem no John Lee brought that. No, nothing changed. Nationality is still the order for the day.
Of the world.
Exactly. I mean, y'all don't see what Putin doing right now? Of course we do. That has everything to do with us. Nations, people that's been colonized.
He showed them the pictures of the Asiatic god and all that for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything.
You show pictures, keep showing pictures, we keep showing pictures and showing pictures.
Not only that, Prophet Noble Jali actually walked the land.
Mm-hmm.
Those are chronicle events.
Mm-hmm.
Those events that actually occurred. He's a real individual.
Yep.
Islam, we hear the before, but we know we just chiming in. It's not really that complicated to us on the panel. Just like you said, all we spend a lot of time we just defend the hate because that's our prophet, man. What you talking about? Yep. He ain't bring civics.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought everything, bro.
And then they call him false. Then they call him false, and he wasn't divine and all this stuff.
No, but come on, Pan American Conference that actually happened. Those are chronicles. Tell him again, brother Yusef. Tell him again. I mean, what? Robot, tell him again.
The Pan American Conference.
Like for real, I mean, y'all.
Havana, Cuba.
Now we gonna start laughing now because we already know it's funny. I guess Nick's gonna have the toaster telling.
Mm-hmm.
Toast gonna pop out the toaster and say, "Hey, you're more.
You're more."
I mean, for real.
And then they just gonna ignore that and put the jelly on the toast. Eat the toast.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't gonna have one of Todd's choke sandwich.
See, that's that colonized mindset. That's why I've been saying for over 5 years now, and that's exactly why I've been saying that. I've never been more free. I know what I am. No, I'm not wealthy beyond belief and don't got everything I want and living the best life, but I'm mentally free. I know I'm a Moor. You know, that's enough for me. I'm good. Now that I know that, now I'm just researching different stuff every day that I find interesting or history or fact little gems that I can find. And that's what it is.
That's one, Noble.
Let me ask you this now, Brother Tariq. So you're in a jurisdiction and there's Moors in that jurisdiction. The dividing line between you being by yourself and you getting with them. Why choose to be where you're at with this info of the Moorish paradigm opposed to where other people in that territory might say that's the direction to go?
Because I choose it. It's only one. I see one distinguishing fact, and you know what that fact is, Cujo? It's the fact that I follow the prophet with no waverance. Like I follow the prophet. Period. Like that's my cornerstone. That's my foundation to any and everything that I do in regards to self and more science. Those others that are here that spawn off of a quote unquote group that I started, they speak of and mention the prophet, but they're not trying to follow what he laid out. And if he laid down the yellow brick road, they trying to follow the brown brick road, which is a shit brick road. And they're gonna end up seeing that because that's where that shit goes. You got to stay the course and stay the path. The prophet laid it all out, and it's already everything's there. Everything's already there. The work's been done.
Islam. Everything already been established through the temples. Everything must go through the temples. Everything must be put in Papa Noble title. Simple as that. Or else it's not going to work. Of course, Papa Noble brought everything. He brought the truth. Of course, man. Of course. Brother Tariq, Islam, so that's why you're supposed to follow the one who gave you the truth.
And I'd much rather, just as before when I was in the streets long ago, I'd much rather be by myself than be with a bunch of cowardice, traitors, back talking, backbiting, and all of that, trying to create and develop something, wasting time. Like I said, when everything's already been laid out. Not to mention that what all that does is cause a distraction and division, which is what it's caused, and which is why I sit here by myself.
But still, though, you have everything to take to save yourself, even though we don't have any temples around you. But these people can't create a new will because they didn't. So, you so adept, so stern in your comprehension because you know the truth. You studied, man. They playing. They still chasing that mystery God in the sky problem. They still following the hope. They ain't following the truth. It can't be.
You're absolutely right, Brother Bay. And you can hear it in their language. When they speak, you can hear it.
Can't be following the truth, man. Can't be. Can't be following the truth, man. Especially not following Prophet Noble Ali. You ain't following. Who else you following? You gonna follow Messi Jesse? You gonna follow Farrakhan, Nation Islam? All those
They
are dreams.
They follow a prophet to the extent to where they can see or think they can see a profit or benefit from it. And then, like I said, they go left.
That's where they made their mistake at. Because they going left from the truth. Prophet Noble brought everything true. It is chronicle. If you always go left, you're going away from the truth. You're supposed to follow the truth. The one who brought you the truth, the most definite the truth. Everything is chronicle. He brought the Edamon degree. He taught the true meaning of words, where people can't deceive you. Any deception, you go straight to the book. You gotta go strictly by what the book say. Books say the truth, you're gonna start going left, you're going away from the truth. Going wrong, you're gonna have problems. Everything struck through the temples. Temples been infiltrated. Not a lot of temples in the areas. You gotta be by yourself and stand on the truth. That's what you're doing. I don't know what they doing. Again, it's not complicated for us here on the panel. We get it. Prophet Noble Ali brought everything. That's the foundation. He's the root. Not wavering from that. Don't care anybody say, because they're gonna go wrong. Islam, we yield the ball.
And just to build on that, to be very aware that the fundamentals includes the fundamentals, so that the same is 1 and 1 is 2 forever. When we look at chapter 1 in the circle 7, and it describes this thing that's taking place there, we come to know, to realize that the body is the temple. I am that I am. So if there's corruption in me, then there's corruption in me that has to be resolved by me. So even if I wanted to go to the temple, which after I didn't know there was a temple until about 50-something years after my journey on the land. And so when I look at it now, I see that it was by design, because I was supposed to learn that it didn't matter what was in front of me, I could navigate through this stuff. And so even if I can compare what you said was for me, I could find your dirt based on you not even recognize what you said. And so there's the wisdom of CMB's Zodiac Constitution, saying to violate your own law for yourself is to violate any more that's on this land. It's a violation to yourself, to your Magna Carta. So, but the focal point of fundamental is the 5 principles. You want to be guided by that golden cord? Just keep watching to see how far away the people are going from any of the principles, and your eye gets sharper. Realizing what it really means to be a universal prophet. Then you have a comparison of even the 7 Hermetic principles that tells you the universe is mental, that tells you about the ebb and flow, that tells you about the correspondence and so forth and so on. So you always have a measuring stick when you stick with the fundamentals. Now, again, all those dead-end paths that foolsters are trying to push us off and onto, we can recognize them just by smell. You know what I'm saying? We can hear a certain tone with the first opening of their first word out their mouth and say, uh-oh. Run! Not that we fear them, but we don't need to be there. We building. If we building, we not building on quicksand. No, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to waste our time. I agree with you, Brother Tariq Bey. We do not want to waste our time. All right. When I found out there was a temple, and I sat through it for 6 months, I was not allowed to buy a book of, what I needed to know, to really know what the prophet brought and left. And I had to get my first Circle 7 from the FBI website. Huh? And then I was led, because I was always outgoing, I always reach out and look where
Hold on. You gotta say that again. You gotta say that again.
Yeah.
I sat through a temple for 6 months and I was not allowed to purchase a book. I had to get my first Circle 7 from the FBI's website.
Wow.
I kid you not.
Although we hope.
Again, this is that's what I say. We all have a journey. And our life was not an accident, not a coincidence. We went through what we went through for the purpose of our enrichment, of our growth, and to be able to fulfill our tasks.
Right.
That's why we went through this stuff. And I have no complaints, no regrets. I have gratefulness. I give thanks. I was able to then, from there, go on and find all the other various temples all around, the different forms that they had taken. And, then I had to figure out, well, what's the difference between the CM Bay's Clock of Destiny and what's the difference here? And now I came in with certain knowledge on newspaper because I was actually the editor of a college paper. And so when I heard the message that if you want to change their thinking, you got to change their literature. And I'm looking around and I never realized that there had been a newspaper already. And when I put out some information and label it under my appellation as a vanguard, calling folk together to let's do this paper, I was approached and told, oh, you can't use Vanguard. Oh, that's
the first time, Cujo.
I mean, this is the type of gatekeeping that has been going on.
All right, yeah, because they sold out. That's why. That's the whole point. We saying listen. We can't. This can't see Cujo right there. Look to probably your right. That
Yes.
thing to the right. That's Cujo right there. That's a clean temple right there. That's what right there. That's the solution right there. See right there.
No question. No question. No question.
That was love brought you right there. Because they were blocking information. They were blocking
the fact that
they weren't pushing the truth. That's what love did for you, soldiers.
Yeah, love leads this. And the fact that the brother had to go through the hybrid European quasi-government's website to purchase or to obtain a copy of the Circle 7 is absolute lunacy. And probably the number one reason why we're in the situation we're in.
But that's all right, though. That's because they trying to they can't even censor the information, man. It's getting out on their own web pages.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is.
And the prophet would have to tell the truth, right? I'm
gonna make them tell the truth.
Listen, they won't give it to him in the temples, and guess what? He still got it.
Yeah.
And look where he at now.
And I give thanks to MHHS because then that's where I was led to and saw that was the best foundation to get what I needed to, catch up on what the prophet truly left.
Right.
For all of us.
Read RV Bay every day.
Yeah, that's why I always give honors to RV Bay Publications because they are the ones who always stood on the prophet's lessons, the works, the civics, and gave more as a broader understanding You know what I mean? And I brought a understanding on how to research and do history from a Moorish perspective and paradigm. And we have to give honors to those Moors that always kept the doors open, you know, for other Moors to come in and get a grounding. You know what I mean?
Islam. I've had Moors sit in class at the library or whatever, and this is back a couple years back in the paperwork stage. Brother Kujo know what I'm talking about with the paperwork, and trying to decipher and break down paperwork they printed off of RV Bay and paperwork they printed, trying to put it together and trying to make it be wrong, and it's not wrong in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
Wow.
Like the brother Bay was just saying a little while ago, the whole etymology, it took me about 6 months of study to even stumble across that word of what etymology is and what it means. And, oh shit, I've been looking at things, excuse my language, I've been looking at everything all wrong. I got to learn the meaning of it, the word, the true meaning of the word before I go back and start trying to read and study and comprehend. And I'm going off of the colonized what I think the word means as opposed to what I know the word means today.
Right.
And a lot of people don't put that time and read. That's part of the study process too. Like me and Cujo was saying the other day, that's one of the first degrees, or the early degrees in this more science. You have to know the origin, the original meaning of the word. Right. And you can't do that without knowing the etymology.
Right. And not just that, Noble. It's like that every court you go into, or if you know, Moors know better, but you know, any definitions that you're dealing with in law, you know, jurisprudence, you know, that's why civics is a major thing. So we can break down what law is and how attorneys affect our everyday lives and put us in positions that we really don't need to be in. Because go ahead, more.
Islam, I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, my brother.
Oh, no problem, Noble. I was just saying, as far as, you know, how we look at certain things and the degrees of law and the issues of how they play certain things in fiduciary courts, and how we don't know and understand certain things in law, and what's the perspective of how we get out of those certain things, you know what I mean, and how do we stay honorable while we getting out of those certain things. You see what I'm saying? So, and then it's certain things about your Circle 7 Quran that's very potent. And once you start studying it, it gives you keys. Like the Prophet said, he made them loosen up the keys. So that's why the demonstrations is always prevalent when it comes to our people, because we're trying to demonstrate why these principles are so valid in today's time. Because they'll always give you a certain, oh, this is today, this is what's popping now, and you know, that was back then, and you know, da 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 da. You know, that's why you have traditions, that's why you have rituals that people still do and don't understand why they're doing them. So the concept of doing certain things is to keep that principle, so we can expand upon that principle within knowledge and common sense. You see, like our ancestors did, because they was very, very creative and articulate and mathematically precise. So for us to be in that realm, we have to study. Yeah. And just like the noble said, you know, etymology of words, you know, everybody, I was like, wow, you know, that's why I don't even use nice like that anymore.
Yep. But Papa Noble Jali, the foundation of all of it, he brought the truth.
Yeah.
He brought everything chronicle event. He brought actual facts. He brought realness across the board in every aspect. Nationality is still the order for today. We are Moors. That's what he brought. Tie you back to the land, tie you back to your culture, tie you back to your tradition, tie you back to everything who you are as a real individual. Nothing is fabricated.
Right.
It's
He's a
just
genius. So I say he's a genius.
Yeah, it's more science. Yeah. You know what I
Right.
mean? We are scientifically, you know what I mean, doing what the prophet instructed us to do because we're more scientists.
And
So
he tie you back to yourself
yeah. So
as
he
a
says
real,
study stuff after
as
you
a
do everything else, right?
as true scientist.
Mhm.
Tie
yeah,
you right back to yourself. Tie you right back to earth. Tie you right back to realness.
yes,
Tie you
and
right
it's
back to
just
everything truthful about yourself, about national principles, about nativity, about law, about chronicle events, about true religion, true
yes,
science.
I see they draining the master teacher's energy again this evening. Just got a notification.
That's all right. They suffer right now across the board because divine law is questioning everyone's behavior at this moment. Everyone been questioned with truth. If not based on truth, then Earth is Persian. And not only Earth, other countries. It's not accepting the lie because it's ruining their economies. And real people are getting hurt. So
now what's interesting is when Brother Tariq speaks on the etymological research, and when you brothers speak on, you know, the scientific awareness and even the word economy, um, and you know, we all know that the prophet brought what the prophet brought, and within what he brought Kariat and Thor, all right, which to tie it to the etymology and the science and these different things, when we go deep into different things, like for instance, I used to read books that gave definitions that those same words do not carry today. And when Brother Menelik speaks about that court scenario, they have a description within whatever codes they go by of what those words mean in their code. So, you know, just bringing it all together, the idea of changing the literature so somebody else was using the prophet's work against us by publicizing things and information about words and things that would throw us off base on anything we deal with, even down to the different practices as Brother Menelik speak on that people be doing and they don't know that they're doing or what they're doing or why they're doing it. Our ancestors know. And, you know, when we are diligently in tune, we begin to know. We begin to know more about somebody's ritual than they will ever when we are in tune.
you get to know about yourself. Double proper know
It
Ali
is
better.
ourselves. That's what that's the whole point.
You
It
get
is
to know about yourself. So anybody rejecting you, honestly rejecting yourself. How you reject yourself? You don't love yourself.
It's love.
When you, your coach that operates the planet, it is proven fact. I mean, because look at it, it's actually operating the planet. Because that's what Prophet Noble Ali brought. He brought you truth. He tied you back to real events that actually occurred in the past, the current events that's actually occurring right now today. Didn't bring you anything false.
Islam
Brought you
was
awareness.
Amor just sent me this. I get more thoughts on this. There's some Gremlins cartoon or something right now. And they have a skull. They have a skull with a fez on. Somewhere in this cartoon, and by the articles, it looks like it's a relic of some kind, a skull with a fez on.
Right.
Symbolic.
Wow.
Subliminal message.
What do you see the symbology as? Just thoughts on what the symbology.
National principle. All I see every time I see that crown now, because I know the true meaning of it. National principle. Every time I see it, I don't care what it's on. Now it's on the skeleton. I know, goddamn, it seems like crossing bones, saying some bullshit.
And you know what I see, Nobles? I see a skull which represents skull and bone on the pirates of Barbary, and then the fez that's representing the Moors. That's what I see.
Islam. Yeah, it's almost like a
That's that little silent brotherhood clubism thing. They got our crown. They put it in the club, and then they promote it on TV. I mean, to release a common debt, they tell you about it. But instead of them coming out and say, they put it in animation. Animation.
And the fez is marked. Look at it.
Yeah.
But they don't know their fez is marked. We know their fez is marked. I mean, that's that dunce cap. That's that dunce cap. Our fez is not marked. I mean, Prophet Noble Ali revealed all that, man. To me, once you study the truth and once you know the true meaning of the word, quite sure a lot of other people see the same thing. That's probably Cujo put it on there. Only thing I see now, what I see, that said, is national principle. And then I see the sellouts with the dunce caps on and NOI. You see what I'm saying? Then I see sellouts in the clubs. Then I see the Shriners. You see?
Well, I'm reminded
then I see the Philadelphia parade they be doing, which is, you see what I'm saying? They
I'm
selling out.
reminded of the question from the Heliobibliothèque dealing with dry bones in the desert. And the question was, what shall become of them? Shall they live?
No, they gonna live. They're not gonna live. Or divine law got them on lock again. Truth prevails. Love is in the air. Love is the foundation of everything. That's what Prophet Noble Ali brought you. Brought you real love. Brought you real true love.
Yeah, the dry bones in the devil. The dry bones in the desert are the MBCs and Indians and all those that have fallen by the wayside. And
Right.
Still they live.
That's caveat emptor.
Yes.
All them social constructs, labels, tags, don't really have any true meaning in law that any court has to respect. Civil a little more too, dead in the eyes of law.
However, that's a different court. We're talking about the highest court now.
That divine law
in the highest court, because I told you, accept that you honor thy mothers and fathers. So can I get you to honor your mothers and fathers?
Yes, you can get me.
Take heed. Islam.
Islam, you can get me, no problem.
Islam. Islam.
Yes, yes, I honor my mother and father.
Islam.
Islam
We
was.
all do. That's why we need them.
Islam. I see them trying to cast they caveat M2 onto us with the nobility being topped with a skull, which we know the skull and bones. But they can do all they want to. That's just their imagination because they don't want to face the truth. That's what that is.
Islam.
It's also, you remember the actual Gremlins, Grand Sheik?
Yeah.
What? And you recall that there was this one that it came from, and that one was a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
See, and that's the importance of the whole deal. And they were even trying to get together to kill him.
Yeah, the good one is the Feds, national sign of that skull and bone. That's the good one. The Feds on top of the skull head. National principle. Robot just told you again. What Prophet Joe Ali told us all 100 years ago. Sell out is real. But hey, divine law got everything on lock. Islam, we hear the floor. But Brother Cujo right there for clean temple anybody want to be a part of.
Islam Moors, any closing remarks?
I give thanks for you being there, brother. Honest to the Prophet and the Most High, honest to the mothers. I give thanks for MHHS.
No doubt.
And I just give thanks for the trials and tribulations that brought me here. Islam.
Islam, so.
Islam.
If I just think divine law, Ajax one, Prophet Ali, foundation all brought the truth across the board. Islam.
Islam novels. I just want to give thanks to all the Moors on the panel, and I want to give honors to our illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and honors to Allah, Bismillah, Inshallah, and thank you guys. You know what I mean, for being who you are. You know what I mean, and I just want to yield the flow with that. Thank you, Islam.
Thank you, Islam.
Islam, I want to give highest Noble Drew Ali, Canaanland Moors, RV Bay, all the Moors on the panel, all the Moors is not here, all the Moors is in temples, all the ones that's confused. I honor my mother and my father. They're not here on this earth plane, but I know that the being under the talk can't have an earth parent, so I'm here trying to be upright and independent and stay the course, man, and just be positive because there's a whole lot going on out here. I yield it for Islam.
Islam, so.
Islam more.
Islam.
That's all you did, man. That's all you did right there.
Prophet Noble Ali all day, every day. All day, every day, y'all. Every day. The truth is the only thing that changes not.
Islam Moors, honors to the Prophet, honors to the Moors in the chat, honors to all the mothers worldwide.
Honest to everyone.
Islam Moors.
Brother Cujo, everybody looking for a clean temple, brother.
Canaanland Moors.
Canaanland. All day, every day.
All day, every day. Islam.
Islam.